My grow tent setup modification, problems it solved and problems it created. One of the things that I wanted to do was make it mobile. And the only reason for it to be mobile is so that I could get to the cords extension, the surge protector in the back. So what I decided to do was cut a 2x4 piece of plywood and put wheels on all four corners, and then put the tent on top of that with some half moon clamps. Problem one was solved. It was mobile now. The other problem it solved was my temperature in my office was solved. It was actually pleasant to be in there. It did contain the heat well, although the tent is not 100%. There's still a little bit of temperature that comes through. It's not 100%, but it is pretty good. So problem two was solved. But it also created another problem. Now my GPUs were a little hotter. And I'm talking about 10 to 15 degrees Celsius hotter, which is a big problem. So we're going to take it in steps. This is my third video that I've put out. And if you guys have been following, you kind of see the stages that I'm at right now and kind of figuring things out as I go. This is my setup. Setting up the tent was pretty straightforward. 2x4 piece of plywood with the wheels on it. So now I have left is to put the braces and screw them through the tent onto the piece of plywood. Little 1/2-inch braces, half moons, or whatever you want to call them. But they work really well. They're very secure, and it secures the tent to the 2x4. Finished product. I don't know if you can see the braces on there. And it's ready to go. And here it is in all its glory. As you can see the tight fit that I have, I'm able to actually just move it forward. And the ductwork on top moves really well with the tent. I left a little slack on top, that way I was able to move as I get back around in there to mess with the cords. So now I'm just going to walk you with a little bit of what I'm doing now. And again, sorry for the shaky video. It gets better. I'm taking some readings now with the temperature gun that I have, and it really did a really nice job in keeping the heat down. Right now we're looking at 86. This is Fahrenheit, by the way. 84 as you come down. Of course, heat rises, and I'm just taking some temperature readings right now. I'll show you what my GPUs are running here in a little bit. But I'm taking some temperature readings, and there's my doggies. Of course, they're always excited when the laser gun comes out. They get a little crazy. I forgot about that until I started seeing the video, but I was actually asking for trouble, and I didn't realize it. I was so into my video. But as you can see lower on the bottom, we got 79. The floor is actually 74 degrees. So with that port open right there, it's really sucking in some cold air. Now this is not forced air, it's just open vents that I have. If you notice the bottom flap of the tent there on the bottom, it's left unzipped. I didn't zip it all the way through, and I got a couple more vents on this other side. You can't see them, it's just too dark there, but if you hold your hand in there, you can feel the air getting sucked up. but to the touch, the tent gets a little warm, so it still radiates a little bit. It's not completely insulated. And I'm going to open it up and get some temperature readings. I got thermometers there. I got to figure out a different way to hold those thermometers down in place because they kind of fall off. They're just a self stick, and they fall off with the heat after a while. You can see one on the bottom of the floor there. But I'm just taking some readings, and I think at the top, there's the bottom at 83, 84 degrees. And towards the top, we're about 97 to 100 degrees. I got all the ports on the top closed, of course. And I got some extra racks in case I want to build something in the future. Now, this is just one 6-card rig, and I'm touching the rig, the card itself, and I'm getting different temperatures, and these are in Fahrenheit, by the way. I kind of like to use my heat gun to test cords and different wiring to see if they're going bad. It's a good idea to have on hand, by the way. You can tell if something's getting a little too warm. I hit my motherboard and different things like that. But basically I leave it unzipped on the bottom. This worked okay for a little bit, but I'm going to show you now my readings. GPUs are a little warm. Oh, that's what happened when you stick things in a grow tent and you have no forced air going through. So I stuck a couple of box fans in there just to get the air circulating around, and it did well for now. Although I didn't put it in the video, my temperatures did come down. My next step would be to copper mod my cards. I'm going to copper mod the first one, the one in slot 1 or 0, and see how that goes. See how that 3070 Ti takes it. And if it does well, then I'll continue on. But that'll be my next video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.